Hi everybody, here's an intro to Calc 1 and a sweet and simple summary of how this course is going to run. For starters, there's going to be at least one homework video that you got to watch and take notes on before coming to every single class meeting. Alright? The reason you want to make sure you've watched the videos is because in class, I'm not spending much time actually lecturing and showing you how to do things. You're going to see how to do things online, and then you're going to start class. I'm going to give you a couple shortcuts you may have missed, answer a couple questions you may have, and then you're going to work on your lab manuals. Okay, and then as you get stuck on individualized problems, you're going to flail, raise your hand, whatever, get my attention, and I'll bounce around from group to group of people working together, and I will answer every question you've got as you get through them, so everybody understands what's going on. You get a little bit of one-on-one and a whole lot more understanding. Okay? Expect to have at least 2 quick pop quizzes that are based on the homework videos from every class. So that means at the start, you've got one for the first portion and one for the second portion. Because you're going to have at least 2 videos, you're going to have at least 2 pop quizzes. All right? And they're sweet and simple. If you've taken notes on the videos, you're good to go. All right? These quizzes are all open note. So don't be panicking about, oh my God, it says quiz. All right? There's going to be a bunch of multiple choice clicker questions at random points during every class to make sure everybody's really on the same page, as opposed to, yeah, what they said. Okay? Because it does happen where you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to go along because I have no clue what's going on. My aim is to avoid that. All right. Your grade breakdown. There's going to be 3 equally weighted exams. So out of 50%, you're taking a third of that goes for the midterm part 1, a third of that is for midterm part 2, and a third of that is for the final exam. All right. There's going to be clicker questions, which are participation based. They're to make sure everybody's still on the same page and actually understands what's going on. Okay. The pop quizzes, again, it's a check to make sure you've actually done what you've got to do and you understood what you had to understood and you wrote down the things that are necessary from the videos. And then you've got the lab manual, which is based on participation and preparation. So if you've taken notes, you're ready to go for class, and you may have questions. It's not a matter of being extremely right or extremely wrong. It's, did you do the work? Did you put the time in? Did you put forth an effort? The biggest thing I can say is we have 10 classes that we're actually going to be working on lecture material and course-based material. There'll be 3 exam days. Do not miss one class. If you miss more than one class, this is not the time for you to take this course. Because with this setup, if you miss one class, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You've instantly lost a huge chunk of your lecture info, the info you're going to get. Okay? And with Calc in the summer, we're moving at breakneck pace. You thought regular semester was fast? During the summer semesters, it's crazy. Okay? Do everything you can to avoid missing a class. If you have to show up late, you gotta show up late. Don't miss a class. Then, as far as what you should know to be ready for the Calc class, there's a couple prereqs, alright? First prereq, you've gotta have pre-calc. The big thing from pre-calc you need to review are your trig identities. What's the sine of pi over 2, cosine of pi, etc., okay? Make sure you brush up on your trig identities, or at least make sure you've used the calculator with them before. Okay? The other big thing that people like to forget, Calculus 1 is algebra intensive. That means you have to be able to solve, factor, and manipulate regular functions. You cannot forget your algebra. Okay? You've got to have a decent understanding of linear equations, the slope-intercept, and point-intercept form. Anything involving the slope, you have to have a good handle on. You have a decent understanding of. You know, the y equals mx plus b thing? You got to remember that. All right? You also have to know how to find and use the slope of a line as rate of change. It's a big thing. This course is all about slopes. Okay? It's all about that whole m equals, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That whole thing. You cannot forget that. That is what this course is primarily based on. We start there and we take it and we run with it and we move and we change. We show you how you can make all kinds of interpretations based on knowing 2 points, and sometimes just one, an equation. As far as what Calc 1 is all about, well, it's all about the slopes. Remember, tangent lines only touch a curve at one point. So if you have a line like this, if you have one point where your new line that you're making touches, that's a tangent line. If you've got a curve where you have your line touches in 2 spots, that's a secant line. All right? So if you've got the slope of the secant line, that's going to be the average velocity. The slope of the tangent line, that's going to be your instant velocity. And that's what your first lecture is about. Shorthand. The next topic we cover is the limits of slopes and how they can be changed into derivatives. Again, you're using that slope of that tangent line and you're writing it up really differently. You're using a bunch of job security labels. They all end up looking like crazy, but all you're doing is that y equals mx plus b thing, and you're just tweaking it. You're making little changes. Okay? As far as the next topic that comes up after you've done derivatives is the antiderivatives, or integrals, which are, again, based on slopes. Okay? It's the sum of a function of a bunch of slopes. Okay? It's crazy. It doesn't make much sense that you could pull this much out of slopes, but you can. Okay? Slopes are all about rates of change, how much one variable changes as compared to another. Okay? Think about how many things in this world change. That's what this course is all about. It's figuring out how much something is changing, whether it be in a direction or not. Okay? And again, it all looks really scary. I know. All right? But it's basically a bunch of job security formulas for functions with slopes. Okay? If you wanted to figure out the area, well, congratulations. You could apply calculus, the integrals, to figure out that old school area thing of the length times the width. It ends up being the same dang thing. This is actually where that formula comes from. Okay? And it just looks scarier than it is for very simple, easy things. They're just trying to keep a job, trying to make it look harder than it really is. You can do this.